And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeshiva Gula show. Shagging Davis Avodah Zarah. Now, last night I spoke with someone who was doing the audio at the funerals in Har Herzl. He did 10 funerals back to 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 back back to back. And he filled me in on what is actually going on, what's the actual situation, what's the actual extent of what happened. Shalom Aleichem to Kev, who's in the shir. And we've been talking about the sugya, we know something's fishy. We're trying to figure out what is going on. We've been trying to figure out for the last 2 years. We've been learning the sugya of the shiabud and trying to figure out especially what is happening with this Gaza invasion. And there are many questions, but I think that has to take a little bit of a side seat, knowing exactly what's going on what level was it the shiabud, on what level was it Yishmael, maybe that I remember, and I never almost quote things that I heard, but I heard from Rabbi Weinberger when I was in high school, Moshe Weinberger. He quoted a Zohar about in the end of days, Yishmael and Esav coming together. And all that stuff is sugyas that we're going to continue steiging in Yeshiva's Gula show. But right now, we could just focus on the fact that there is evil, right? We have to call it evil. And this evil is what we have been talking about. We have been warning about in Yeshiva's Gula show this whole time. And this is the evil that we're trying to fight. It's unfathomable. It's unfathomable what happened, but the pain and the suffering and the humiliation and the chil Hashem is very real. When Am Yisrael, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to destroy Am Yisrael after the Chet HaEgel, after the sin of the golden calf, Hashem, Moshe said to Hashem, you have to do it for your sake. You have to help Am Yisrael for your sake, because the guy, and what are they going to say? They're going to say, "Be built to yechidus Hashem." They're going to say, Hashem couldn't take us out of Egypt and bring us through the Midbar. It's this chil Hashem of the evil coming in, how they're able to come in, the evil coming in and murdering us and raping us and videotaping it and laughing about it. That's the chil Hashem. The word chilul is from Lashon Chalal, emptiness. And when events like this happen, the Goyim say, the nations say, "Where's your God?" And it creates a vacuum and an emptiness. And that is the most difficult thing about this story. It's this Chilul Hashem, is this emptiness. They film, they're killing grandmas on Facebook Live, raping our daughters and killing our babies, their whole lives in front of them. We spoke about that maybe Gaza, we're talking about Irani Dachas, maybe Gaza is a din of Irani Dachas, maybe not. The truth is that, right, do we go a targeted attack? We're talking about targeted attack. We're talking about, do we just level it? And the truth is that even if they don't have a din of Irani Dachas, I mean, we think they do because they're shiabud, because they're Romans, because they're pagans. But even if they don't, it's a mitzvah of shmiras hanefesh. We have to protect ourselves. We have to take down Gaza. In Yeshiva's Gula show, we've been learning the sugi of the shiabud this for years. And this is why we keep talking about 9/11. This is why we keep talking about Kennedy and Bob Marley and the Holocaust and the Third Reich. And this is why we kept talking about flat Earth and how its connection to the Romans. This is what we're talking about, the blood libel. We're talking about the Titanic. We were talking about these things not because we're like a yeshiva that studies history. We study Torah, but this is really relevant to the sugya of the shiabud. We knew that they're capable of this. We knew that the Jesuits, the Romans, the pagans, the Avodah Zarah, heliocentric is worshiping the sun. They're Ovdei Moloch. This is why we went to the Vatican and vandalized. This is why we went to the Georgia Guidestones and vandalized. This is why we went and to the Bohemian Grove. We've been on their track, and we were not surprised by this evil. And if we're still trying to figure out who exactly is behind it, I'll agree that we're blibing shver, trying to figure out exactly what's happening. But it's this evil. Shalom Aleichem to Shlegs and Zigri Arizal. It's this evil that we're all disgusted of. It's this killing kids. It's raping young women. It's the murder, and it's the glee that they showed. It's their laughing. It's their celebration. That's the biggest chilul Hashem. This is why we've been speaking about this. This has been the pattern for the last 2,000 years. The Inquisition, the blood libel, the pogroms, Payasheni. This is the same group. This is the Ovdei Avodah Zarah, the Masechta that we're learning, and we'll get to at the right time. This is the Satanism, the Trei Reshuyos that Elisha Ben Avuya spoke about. Is unimaginable. The videos that they have of them defiling Jewish daughters and killing Jewish babies, and it's a chilul Hashem. It's an absence. It's an apparent absence of God. Moshe said to Hashem by Har Sinai, "Do it for your honor, because the Gaim are going to say it's built Hashem. Hashem couldn't do it. When a Jew is murdered in the street like a dog, it is the biggest chilul Hashem. It is the biggest desecration of Hashem's name, because the Gaim point and they laugh and they say, look." And so we're going strong, teaching Torah. For the last 3 years, we have a saying in Yeshiva Shgula Show, which is fuck the shiabud. We've been saying fuck the shiabud. And people think, oh, we're just cursing, we're just this, we're just that. We knew that they were capable of this. We knew they were capable of murdering children. We said, Jeffrey Epstein, look, why do you think we're so obsessed with Jeffrey Epstein? We said, look what these people are capable of. Pay attention so it doesn't happen again. And so you don't just let it happen again. And people say, no, it can't be. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, talking about the Satanists. And we're telling them, look at him, Regan Abramovich. Look at these pedophile cannibals, necrophiles. They're going around with videos of dead Jewish women that they're raping.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're inferring that this is the same old, that it's been.
This is the same.
Millennium,
this is the same guy. And every Holocaust is different. The Holocaust, so Gaza was not just like the Holocaust, and the Holocaust was not just like the blood libels, and the Inquisition was different than the cross, than the Matzot Tzlav. The Inquisition was different than the Crusades. And the Crusades is different than the destruction of the base of Mikdash. But at the root, it's the same Roman Empire. It's the same UN. It's the same Satanist pedophiles that we have been talking about all since the pandemic. And this is why we were talking about it. And we were saying it's a Holocaust. We were saying, well, I wouldn't compare it to a Holocaust. I think you're being a little rash, Yeshiva Gula Show. And we're saying, no, we see. And this is why I want to propose that Echo is written by Yirmiyahu. Jeremiah, who was warning about the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. People were saying, you're nuts. And so he can fully grasp the pain of something which he saw coming but couldn't prevent. These are the blood guilty, dog killer, murder Jesuits. It's the Roman Empire, it's the Crusades, it's the Inquisition. These are pogroms. Did we ever see such a thing? They're coming into Jewish neighborhoods, going door to door, killing everyone in the house. And if they're in a locked bunker, they lit the houses on fire, burning kids alive. Have we seen such a thing since the Holocaust? But this is what we were saying. This is why we spoke so much about talking about Operation Paperclip. We're saying the Nazis didn't lose. They just moved to America. We've been saying for 3 years, this is the Fourth Reich. Did they listen to us in Yeshiva School? No, they did not. But we were saying, we knew that such a thing is possible. This is what we have been talking about. Now it's time for you guys on Facebook and us in Shiva to go further into the sugya, but to start listening up and start realizing, wait, start asking questions, stop ignoring, oh wait, this is a discrepancy. How did they get in? Why was the location of the festival moved 2 weeks before? We have to start asking questions. In Yeshiva School Show, we've been learning sugya for 3 years. Why do they think we've been talking about Operation Paperclip, how 20,000 Nazis went to America after the Holocaust for all this time? What are we, history buffs? And the answer is that we've been warning you. And we've been saying to you guys for all these years, look at what is happening. Look how the Nazis are still around. Look at what's going on with this pedophilia and this Satanism. Oh, Shmuel, you're crazy. Oh, why are you talking about flat earth? Because it's part of the sugya, because it's part of the Roman Empire and part of their psychological operation. Israel and what just happened in Israel is not just another meme. They have these memes, oh, taking away the vaccine and putting in the chip of Ukraine. Oh, don't vote the mask, vote the vaccine, don't vote the vaccine, vote Ukraine. Israel is not the same thing. All of that, all of those controlled opposition pages, which give some of the truth, like Andrew Tate, who says, yeah, maybe Israel was somehow relevant to this attack happening, but then comes Andrew Tate and says, oh, the reason was because like Israel wanted an excuse to attack Gaza. That's the shalom. That's not the reason. The reason is because if Israel was related, because Israel's part of the satanic pedophilic UN, the Medina. And so we're not doing this for the Medinas Yisrael. We have to save Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, but Medinas Yisrael we're still not sure about. But this is about Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael always stands up. We are learning this sugya. We will figure out what the connection of Yishmael and the connection of Esav. But what we have to see is the evil in front of us that has to be eradicated. We have to save our own lives. It's pikuach nefesh, and it doesn't stop at getting rid of Hamas, because Hamas is a small branch of the shiabud, right? But we have to protect ourselves. We got to go take out Hamas, take out Hezbollah, take out ISIS, take out the Vatican. We got to get our stuff back. This does not end until we get a third base of Mikdash. This is it. This is the last straw. We cannot rely on world politics. What are they going to say here? What are they going to say there? The entire system is rotten to the core, and it has been ever since Ben Gurion was shooting at Jabotinsky ships, right? So we don't know about it, this state of Israel, but it's rotten to the core. Every single selected politician, part of the shiabud. This cannot end with decimating Gaza, but that's the first step. We have to protect ourselves. This cannot end with decimating Hezbollah, but that's the second step. We got to protect ourselves. We have to go, and we have to. Our soldiers are real tzaddikim. People are coming and volunteering, coming back to volunteer to fight for Am Yisrael. They don't know that maybe the elite of the government of the Tzal or of the Israeli government are furthering globalist agendas. So you got a question?
You can say that I saw Mayor Malik's Instagram.
Yeah.
From Yeshayahu says you will not see Hamas in your land again. It says literally Hamas.
Right, Hamas is like stealing.
Like the art set. Yeah. But still, you could say, like we were saying last night, the double entendre.
Right, double entendre. Yeah, no, definitely. It's very interesting that all the enemies of the Jews, they choose like words that mean like negative things, like Hamas, and then Nazim, Vayinaitz is like a negative word in Hebrew. So it's very interesting. But really, the Nazis were the Third Reich of the Roman Empire, and what's going on right now, the UN and Hamas as a part of it is the Fourth Reich. We've been saying we're in the Fourth Reich, and people say, what are you guys talking about? It does not feel good to be right. It's actually horrible, but now is the time to listen up. Now everyone can see, right? And without going into the sugya, right? Sometimes you got to take a kid and like explain to him what's going on in very basic levels. And so maybe like when we're talking, like we're talking to people, explaining to them, we're talking too high of a level. Oh yeah, it goes back to the Roman Empire. Look at the historians of the shiabud Malchus since the Churban Beis Rishon. Look at the Jesuits' part in the war, in the Civil War in America, and we go through and see their role in every single conflict. Maybe that's too big picture for some people who are just starting to realize that something's up. And so to these people, we have to say, okay, but we all agree that we have to fight evil. They think the evil might be just like some unconnected evil to like some other evil events. We know that it's likely something much more deep, much more sinister, much more planned, the agenda. But we have to just say there's evil that has to be eradicated. And this is why we're talking about the Jesuit blood drinking. We're talking about the Satanists. This is why we went to the Georgia Guidestones, went to the Vatican, watched the old videos. This is why we made the songs, we made the stand-up, we made the art, just trying to get the idea out. We knew that this thing in Hamas could happen. This terrible, unspeakable tragedy in Chil Hashem, and we know that Chas v'Shalom, if we don't do something fast, if we don't wake up fast, Chas v'Shalom, it could get worse. And it's horrible to say, but we've been saying MS ever since been saying MS. My friend who was working at the funerals, he heard the screams of the families. And he said that somehow it made him stronger to fight back. This is real, and I don't know in what order. This stuff that I'm telling you guys, I heard from someone who's at the funerals. I heard from an Israeli who is aware of what's going on. I don't know. He says, by the way, right now the media is saying like maybe like it's 700. I was saying like 1,200. They're making it like slowly, but I heard that the number is going to be above 1,500. Chas v'Shalom. And we have to talk about it now. We have to talk about it here and get the word out, and not wait for what they're going to say in the media, because they're pushing their agenda, and they possibly want this conflict to continue. Probably. This is what we've been saying all along. Fuck the shiabud. We knew about this stuff. I want to apologize if maybe the way that I was speaking about what was going on in the past few days, just trying to figure out what's happening. And so, just trying to figure out what's going on. And it wasn't obviously my intention to hurt anyone who has been affected. And everyone knows that my goal here is for truth and is for love. And it is not for my honor. And it is clear. And Galoi v'yadu levanecha, it's not lichvodi, not lichvod beis avi, not for the honor of my dad's name and house. But I'm doing this shelo yarbe machlokas b'Yisrael, machlokas in the world. I'm doing this so that there shouldn't be any more fighting, that there should be peace. I'm doing this for Am Yisrael. I'm doing this for humanity. And our thoughts and bracha, our thoughts and our prayers are with the Israeli government. Not the Israeli government, don't know, for connection. Not the Israeli government, with Tzal, with the Israeli army, and they're fighting for Am Yisrael, fighting for Eretz Yisrael, but we don't know about Medinas Yisrael. But as for Medinas Yisrael, I will say this, that we say on Pesach, Ilu Hotzianu miMitzrayim, right? Ilu Keraftanu Le'Ar Sinai, if God would have taken us to Mount Sinai, V'lo nasan lanu es HaTorah, but didn't get the Torah, it would be Dayenu. Bring us to Har Sinai and not give us the Torah would be enough to say thank you to God. What's the point of bringing us to Har Sinai if He doesn't give us the Torah? And the answer is setting it up. Shkayach, David Cable, is your Gemara, long lost. It was here.
Yeah.
So we say, if God would have taken us to Har Sinai and not given us the Torah, it would have been enough. So let's say that, even though we have big questions on the government of Israel, right? But still, that's like bringing us to Har Sinai and not giving us the Torah. It's enough, but it's good. It's enough to give thanks, but it's not enough, and we need the Torah. And we gotta, okay, we're here now, and I'm saying we gotta overthrow the current regime that is working with the UN, working with the Satanists, no problem. That our stuff is at the Vatican, they say, and maybe letting things like this happen, maybe letting terror happen. We cannot allow for that. There are some people on the team that understand this, and our job is to explain, right? We're soldiers of explaining like what's going on. We've been talking, David Cable, we're saying, we've been talking about the shiabud, we've been talking about 9/11, talking about paperclip, talking about this stuff all along. And it's so that people will understand what we knew. We knew they were capable of this. We knew that they were murderers and killers, and they don't value human life whatsoever. We knew this the whole time, and this is what we were warning about. And this was something that we did not know how to shut up about. Look at the videos. We are here fighting evil, and we're doing it with the kayach of the Torah. That is the only constant that has been with us through Korban Beis and Mikdash. They said no teaching Torah. He says, of course I'm teaching Torah. Oh, it's a huge risk. I got to do it anyways. Jews were learning Torah. The Baal Yatosos were learning Torah while they were trapped in the Crusaders' dungeon, and they didn't have a pen, so they cut their fingers so that they can write a Tosfos. And Jews were learning Torah in Auschwitz. Am Yisrael has been connected to the Torah. The Torah has seen us. And so we will continue stagging Torah, stagging the shiabud, stagging the sugya of the shiabud. This is Mitzrayim. This is Auschwitz. We have not left. This is the Fourth Reich of the Roman Empire. We're in Golas Edom, lest you forget. And how do we free ourselves then? One answer. Torah. Ein lecha b'nei chayrin. You do not have a free human. Elamisha ozek b'Torah. And this is what we'll continue learning the sugya. So stay tuned for updates.
What's that from?
Well, it says Ksav Hashem charas al luchos, carved into the luchos. It says Chazal, don't read it charat al luchos, carved. Read it cherush. Read it cherush to teach you that there is no freedom except for someone who's Isaac b'Torah. That is the only freedom. That's what we're going to say. That's how we're going to take down the shiabud Malchus. And we hope that all of the soldiers around the world, the real tzaddikim, there are tzaddikim in Umos Ha'olam, and the soldiers that are really ideologically fighting to protect their family, to protect their loved ones, to protect what's good, will help us. And the soldiers that are spreading the MS also, because we've seen so many tzaddikim, and we wish them luck to protect ourselves and our nation and our family. We've been saying this forever. We've been talking about this sugya, and no one listened. But now, hopefully, they will listen. We are saying this does not end without a third base of Mikdash. This does not end without complete freedom, complete taking down the shiabud, and destroying Hamas and eradicating Hamas is a good first step. And taking down the Roman Empire and shiabud Malchus, getting the Beis Hamikdash built, is a good second and third step. The pain is too much to bear, yet we are still here, and the words of Torah will restore life to us. We must wake up to all of the shiabud that's around, all of the oppression that has been around, that we have been speaking about for 3 years. we can say that the people in the party are heroes, because when Hamas crossed the border, they saw that there was this festival and they got very distracted running after the people in the festival. They were running every direction, and that could have saved thousands of lives of Yeshuvim. So more Jews killed on Kiddush Hashem. It is horrible, but their neshamas should have an aliyah, and they should say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look at what's going on. We do not come out of this without getting all of our menorah and shulchan and whatever the Vatican has stolen from us. This does not end until we take down the entire shiabud Malchus and build the Beis HaMikdash. We cannot let these lives be lost in vain. We cannot let this humiliation of Am Yisrael be for nothing. This was the Indians, the Chil Hashem. Chilul means chalal, emptiness. In a world where Kaviyachal looks like HaKadosh Baruch Hu is powerless. That's what Hashem said. That's what Moshe said to Hashem, not to destroy Am Yisrael after the sin of the golden calf. Because the nations, what are the nations going to say that God was powerless? Chas v'shalom. We need to show the world Am Yisrael Chai, the Eivishter is with us. We need a huge revolution. We know that there's also a huge ideological subversion, and this is demoralization. They're showing all these videos, and they want us to just be killed and be destroyed and be eating ourselves up from the bottom. We need to take this and become strong. Super Chill is the resistance. Super Chill is the revolution in mental health. That we cannot let this take us down. And Eila Barecha ve'Eila Basusim, but we have a Kadosh Baruch Hu. They have guns. We have guns. They have tanks. We have tanks in Am Yisrael. And we hope that Kadosh Baruch Hu can be zealous in our revenge against our enemies, against the shiabud Malchus, against the evil that has been allowed free reign in this world ever since the beginning of the Roman Empire. And we hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we know that He will, has His finna give us siyata d'shmaya to avenge our family members who were defiled, and to in their name and the name of all the Kedoshim, all of the holy Jews that were sacrificed throughout the last 2,000 years, 2,023 years of the Roman Empire. What do you think we're counting to? We should hope that in their schus, we can really come from shiabud legeula, from the shiabud Malchus to geula shlema, and we hope that this is the last straw for many people who just couldn't bear to accept what we were saying and couldn't even think. I'm not even going to research Operation Paperclip. I can't. It's too crazy. I'm not even going to look into Building 7. I'm not even going to question Flat Earth. I'm not even going to research. I'm not even going to think about what the Third Reich was. Third Reich of what? And they couldn't even bear themselves to do research. I'm not even going to look into what was behind the pandemic. We hope that this will be the final straw. And it's so fucking sickening. And we've been saying this for 3 years. Motherfuck the shiabud. Steig the geula. Steig the super chill. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu will give us siyata d'shmaya with the schus of the Torah and the schus of Avas Yisrael, Avas Abrios, and the schus of Tikkun Hamidos, in the schus of Torah and Tefillah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will allow this tragedy to be a me'afela le'ora, from the darkness to the light. Let there be light. Speaking of light, Shitas Rabbi Akiva, Zog Tehilga Gemara. Okay, but Rabbi Akiva, we're on Nun Beis Amud Aleph. So we said, okay, according to Rabbi Akiva, Ashkechan Avodah Kochavim shall obey Kochavim. Rabbi Akiva, okay, we find Rabbi Akiva's Shita. We understood how he proved it from Psilei Elohim. And from the second is made, right? Misha Paslo, once they carve it out, so it becomes usher according to Rabbi Akiva. Right, that's miyad. But that the fact that an idol made by a yid, which by the way we see here, don't be like, oh, it couldn't be that Israel government had any part in this. We know right here we see that there's a concept of a Jew making an idol. There's a concept of an Am Yisrael being an absolute traitor to his nation. May they be swallowed up in the ground like Kairach and his Adasai. So how do we know that if a yid makes an idol, it's not forbidden until it's worshipped? Minan. Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, Amar Kra, it says in Pasuk, Visham B'Seiser. So this is a Pasuk. It says, cursed is the man, cursed is the man who makes a pesel, who makes another idolatry. Toevas Hashem Maseh Hadel. The actions of his hands are abomination to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That he formed this Bisam B'Seiser, and he puts it in hiding. The Anu Kol Am Amru Amen, puts it in the shadows. Right? A lot of people that in the Israeli government that could say I'm Israel Chai. Who knows what they're really doing? Usam B'Seiser, right? So Ad Sheyasalo Devarim Sheb'Seiser, until he does to this idol things which you do in secret, aka the worship, aka what they do in secret by Bohemian Grove, the child sacrifice. Right? These things they're doing out there, it's out there for anyone to research. But they couldn't bring themselves. Now's the time. Now's the time. If you're sick to your stomach about this, and you're looking for answers, now's the time to research everything that Yeshiva School HaShala has been talking about the last 3 years.
Be forgiving, because clearly, just like Jewish people can be idol worshippers, they can also do worship in secret. They can do Zarah in secret. So if it's not so obvious to people, that's on purpose. It's supposed to be in secret.
Right. We definitely understand. Great point, Rivka. We definitely understand the people that were unable to hear when we talked about this, and we even understand the people who lashed out at us for even having the gall and the audacity to ask questions. We understand the brainwash is strong. We understand that it's done in secret, it's done with propaganda. We understand that the snake, which is the shoresh to the entire shiabud, his whole thing was propaganda. We understand that the Romans, and it's all about psychological operation. We understand, and we are forgiving to the people who didn't understand it until now. But now, let's do some research. Let's really figure out what's going on. So until he does a thing that's in secret, the iduch and the other, and so how is okay? So that's what Rabbi Akiva says. They learn it from Bisam B'Seiser until they do something which is like a Maisa Seiser, like that idolatry, which is done in secret, like Bohemian Grove, like I'm sure a bunch of other places on this hidden island, Epstein's Island, Rothschild's Island, Rockefeller's Island, Jesuit Island, whatever you want to call it. It's done in secret, right? Ve'iduch ha'hu mibaile. And Rabbi Yishmael says, no, we need that like Rabbi Yitzchak. This is what we learn from Rabbi Yitzchak. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yitzchak like this. How do we know that an idol of an Israelite needs to be buried, needs to be thrown into the sea? Shenamar Bisam B'Seiser. He put it in secret. So that's the putting it in secret. That's how we know that you have to bury, you have to hide the idol, so you can't. So Rabbi Yishmael learns it from there. Rabbi Yishmael can't learn what Rabbi Akiva wanted to learn, that until you do the Maisa B'Seiser, a Maisa that you do in Seiser, aka you worship it. So Kumto is that an idol of an Israelite is not usher until it's put in secret. The iduch nafgle. So what does Rabbi Akiva get from nafgle? Me the Rav Chisda, Amarav, the name Rav, the Amarav is Amarav. Minayin lavodas l'chavim shel Yisrael shetuuna geniza. How do you know that the idol of an Israelite needs to be buried? Shenamar, because there's if you want, Because it says, "Lo tita lecha ashera kol eit mizbeach." Don't plant for yourself an ashera tree, any tree that is worshipped for idols, or you shouldn't worship an idol worship tree or any tree next to the altar in the base of Mikdash. Ma mizbeach ton geniza, just like a mizbeach, an idol needs to be hidden away, needs to be better. The mizbeach, if you break a piece off the mizbeach, you need to actually like hide it away in some geniza, in some hideaway place. So do a tree is for idolatry. Israel needs to be hidden away. The idach, and where that's where that's what Rabbi Akiva learned from. That's how Rabbi Akiva learns that the idol of the Israelite needs geniza. The idach of Rabbi Yishmael, where is he going to learn that? What's he going to learn from that pasuk of don't plant an asherah? The idach hahu mibayale. We need the pasuk of the asherah about the base of Mikdash by the mizbeach. Likid the Reish Lakish, just like Reish Lakish. The Amar Reish Lakish says, "Kol amay medayan she'eno hagun." Everyone who puts up a judge who is not worthy, who is not appropriate. You put in the leadership position. You put someone who is not appropriate for this position, who is not a good guy, not a trustworthy guy. Kilu no asherah Israelis, if they're building a tree of Avodah Zarah, say, "Oh, I'll just vote for this. I'll just vote for this. I'll just vote for this. I'll just vote for that." And obviously, all voting is nonsense. But everyone is saying, "I'm just going to put this guy up there." If the guy's not Haglan, it's like you're voting in an asherah. That's what voting is. Who do you want to vote for, Molech or asherah? That's who our choices are. That's our quote unquote democracy. Look it up. Research that we don't actually have democracy. Go back to the French Revolution. See how it's the hands of the Roman Empire. See how it's a lie this whole time. That's what we've been saying in Shiva's Gula. And now is the time to really research it. Shenamar, because it says in Pasuk, we need to set leaders in all of our sharech and all of our gates. The samichle, and it says next to it, lo sita l'chasherah, kolei, don't plant an asherah. So that's what we know, the connection of asherah to, so in the fact that it's juxtaposed to shotim, we see that if you put a bad leader, it's like you're putting an idol in Israel. Right, cool. Amar Avaji said, the Magum Talmidei Chachamim Kilu nadu ezel mizbeach, shenamar ezel mizbeach. They say you put these inappropriate leaders in the place of Talmidei Chachamim. It's like you're putting an asherah right next to the mizbeach, because it says ezel mizbeach in pasuk. Yeah.
You're going to appoint idolaters and you have all these
right? It's crazy. But you put them together, even the whole operation is jeopardized. You have talmidei chacham, but you also have these. You have mizbeach, but you also have idolatry right next to it, and they're like in the government together.
Now the mizbeach looks that.
Exactly. Okay, so now that's where we got to in the Gemara. Let's see if we can see some drashis. So Rabbi Akiva, how do you know that a idol of Am Yisrael was aser only after its worship? Because it says that you took this idol and you put it in hiding. Shabbos says that you do to it things that you do, right? Shebeseiser, she says. Avodah Shebeseiser, who Ovda, Shlo Yishmu, based in the Siklu. They don't want to do it in public, based in more hearing, give them skila. Devarim Shebeseiser, the things that you do in private. And one of the biggest Chilul Hashems of this whole Gaza thing was they did it in public. They recorded it and they laughed at us. And this is why HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to avenge these heroic souls who unwillingly and unknowingly, some of them, gave up their lives for Kiddush Hashem, so that they ran this way. They prevented more deaths from coming in the actual kibbutzes. As crazy as it is to think about. Rashi says, okay, well then, what did he need to avoid? No Shabbos days. They need to do be gones. You need to put it in a hidden place. The kishe he shlema genuza bekarka. Ah, the mizbeach when it is full, it's actually like hidden in the ground. It's like buried in there. Ma mizbeach don't geniza the yisur and you can't get a knob in the mizbeach. So do the idol of an Israelite has to be azana. And they said, well, if you're going to appoint a bad leader in the Makom Talmid Chacham, so it says the is the Eitam is back Talmid, and the Asherah the Ukmin and Dayan Hagun. We have talmidim, but we put also some Satanists amongst our midst. It's like having an Asherah Avodah Zarah tree next to. Right next to them is Be'er Hugam is Be'er Nami Begavri. That's why the Mizbeach also was being established as like a person. Who's that? The Talmid Chacham. Who they're being established next to. I got the sign for DVJ that we only have 5 minutes left. As per the minhag in the Shiva Gula show, we do a little review of what we learned today with a musical instrument.
Rock and roll.
Zak and roll. Chazak and roll. I like it. Enroll in Shiva's Gula show. Well, we need all the soldiers we can get. We're just explaining what's going on. Nobody knows. Am Yisrael is in the throes of the most difficult time we've ever known since the Holocaust and the camps of bone. And the Holocaust, we know, was like documented and they saw it and there's videos, but that doesn't compare to the videos that were taken by the bloodthirsty, bloodlusting Satanists that are in our midst and that are surrounding us. And we don't know what to do but to ask the HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give us siyata d'shmaya, that there should never be another Chil Hashem like this of this magnitude again. So hopefully we'll have the Kiddush Hashem of revenge and the Kiddush Hashem of some unforeseen geula. We don't know how it could happen. There's so many different things going on. We're just learning the sugya. But if geula can come from this can't end. This can't end our fighting the shiabud, our fighting the evil. We'll say it for the ones that are new, just starting to be like, oh wait, what actually is going on? Our fighting the evil does not end until we have Beis Hamikdash, until we have our stuff back from the Vatican, until we are free. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us yad d'shmaya through the Torah. We want to sing again Vayosha. Vayosha Hashem Bayomahu Esrog Miyad Mitzrayim. Things looked so bleak so many times in our nation, and we always come out on top. And this is